Welcome to day 4. It's Maundy Thursday. And you might have asked yourself, what does Maundy Thursday even mean? I'll tell you in a few minutes. But first, let's read John 13, 1 through 16. And you'll realize we did, in fact, read this on Monday, but we're going to read it again. It was now just before the Passover feast, and Jesus knew that his hour had come to leave this world and return to the Father. Having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the very end. The evening meal was underway, and the devil had already put into the heart of Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot, to betray Jesus. Jesus knew that the Father had delivered all things into his hands, and that he had come from God and was returning to God. So he got up from the supper, laid aside his outer garments, and wrapped a towel around his waist. After that, he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and dry them with the towel that was around him. He came to Simon Peter, who asked him, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied, "You do not realize now what I am going to do, but later you will understand." "Never shall you wash my feet," Peter told him. Jesus answered, "Unless I wash you, you have no part with me." "Then, Lord," Simon Peter replied, "not only my feet, but my hands and my head as well." Jesus told him, "Whoever has already bathed needs only to wash his feet, and he will be completely clean. And you are clean, though not all of you." For he knew who would betray him. That is why he said, "Not all of you are clean." When Jesus had washed their feet and put on his outer garments, he reclined with them again and asked, "Do you know what I have done for you? You call me teacher and Lord, and rightly so, because I am. So, if I, your Lord and teacher, have washed your feet, you also should wash one another's feet. I have set you an example, so that you should do as I have done for you. Truly, truly, I tell you, no servant is greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, you will be blessed if you do them." And then in verse 34, "A new commandment I give you, love one another. As I have loved you, so you also must love one another. By this everyone will know that you are my disciples, if you love one another." And then let's read from chapter 17, verses 20 to 23. And this is a prayer of Jesus for all believers. And he writes in verse 20, "I am not asking on behalf of them alone, the disciples, but also on behalf of those who will believe in me through their message, that all of them may be one, as you, Father, are in me and I am in you. May they also be in us, so that the world may believe that you sent me. I have given them the glory you gave me, so that they may be one as we are one, I and them and you and me, that they may be perfectly united, so that the world may know that you sent me and have loved them just as you have loved me." One of my favorite old pastors and writers, A.B. Simpson, says about this passage, "True dignity can afford to stoop. False pride with no intrinsic loftiness is always trying to lift itself up. One who knows he has an illustrious name is not always trying to proclaim it." The mindset of Jesus was to love sacrificially, to serve considerately, and to treat others as ultimately more worthy than even himself. He didn't consider equality with God something to be used to his own advantage, you would see in Philippians chapter 2. Now, we're told to be of the same mindset as Jesus, and as he's saying here, to wash each other's feet, to love one another, to prioritize unity with one another, to not be self-serving. Ironically, though, we being so inexplicably below God often act as if we are the ones worthy of others worshiping us, worthy of being served, worthy of being esteemed, or even worthy of being right. So much of our unloving behavior or our disunity is because we think we deserve to be right. We don't even deserve to be right. We ought to love one another as Christ loved us, to adopt the same mindset as Jesus. Now, this misguided and sinful mindset is most evident when we need to serve others or are in conflict with others. We justify ourselves and act self-righteously, kind of like Peter did when he didn't want Jesus to wash his feet. And that's actually what I would say a very unchristian thing to do. It's a very unchristian thing to not be willing to love one another or to demand our own way or to be divisive in any way. Christians are to be, by very definition, in every way like Christ, recognizing that Christ saved us from our sin and from the penalty of hell. We actually don't deserve better than hell. We shouldn't reserve any right to dictate our own way, but instead we should submit to, surrender to, and seek to live by all of Christ's commands. And this mandate in particular, most evident of all, this mandate, Maundy Thursday mandate, to love one another as Christ has loved us. And ultimately in this selfless and sacrificial way that Christ has loved us. That our love would bind us together in unity and show the world that we are the true Christ ones, the true Christians. Now, it's no surprise for us, actually, if you're like me, you struggle with this. It's no surprise for us to realize that this is hard. It's going to be hard. We're selfish. We're still sinful. We're still growing out of our sinful ways. And that's why Jesus prayed for us in John 17. That's why I wanted to read that prayer to you. That we would be one as Father, Son, and Holy Spirit are one. That's why Jesus prayed that his indwelling presence and eternal glory within us would perfectly unite us. So the prayer of Jesus really answers the question, how can we overcome our self-centeredness and truly love one another? We do it by experiencing unity with God, first and foremost, the triune God. Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. We do it by recognizing the indwelling and eternal glory given to us. Think about the eternal glory that's been given to you. We really don't need to look for status. We don't need to look for identity or justification amongst people, nor do we need the esteem or approval of people. Really, it's actually silly for us to try to vindicate ourselves or justify ourselves or pursue self-righteousness. All of our relational needs are met in God. And it is there and only there that you have the security of heart and mind to stoop as Christ stooped in true dignity, to pursue unity and love for one another as Christ has for us.